sugar cereals when I was a kid, so like I don't know anything about it.
Your parents were smart.
We're live talking about cereal.
I have no present with that.
Welcome to Blades in the Dark.
Talking about Captain Crunch cereal.
That's bane of all of our existence.
That's the head honcho plan.
Damn it! You felt my big bad evil guys, Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, the head of the Leviathan
my
crew.
Captain
Like,
Crunch trap.
Stream's over. We're done. Season 2's at a
Finale's
wrap.
tonight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 4. Yeah,
Yep.
4 of Embers in the Ashes, our Blades in the Dark campaign. And I'm just going to hand it off to Nathan, our lovely narrator, and let him get started with tonight's festivities.
He said lovely. No. What's going on, everybody? I'm Nathan. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the narrator for this amazing group. We are playing Blades in the Dark, and our Blades in the Dark campaign is kind of broken down into 2 phases. We have a score phase where we have a lot of action and drama and things that are going on in the scene, and then we have a downtime phase where there is still drama, I promise you, but it's a lot more interpersonal scenes and behind the scenes, a peek into our characters' lives, and it helps us really get a feel for the characters themselves. We are in the second of our downtime phases, and so I'm going to let each player go around and say who they are and what the character they'll be playing, and then we'll jump into some downtime actions. We're going to take care of some paperwork and then jump into some scenes. These scenes may or may not be... They'll all be based on downtime actions that characters can take, but we kind of ad-lib what we want to actually see happen RP-wise in the scene and then make it mechanically happen in the game. So hope you enjoy it. As always, feel free to say something in the chat and ask us questions, reach out to us. Love having you here or watch on YouTube or watch on VODs, follow up. Appreciate all that you all are doing. Thank you very much. All right, so without further ado, let's go around and introduce our wonderful cast. Let's start with Jacob.
Hey everybody, my name is Jacob, Dual King Jacob on the internet. Both Eyes and I have he, him pronouns. He is the group's slide, and he is in a world of hurt right now, both physically and emotionally, and I cannot fucking wait to dive in.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. And Lynn, can you go next?
hey, I'm Lynn, she, her, and I'm playing Miss Corbin, also she, her, the group's spider, which is the wheeler dealer schemer. And yeah, we've really got on with our lives, and everybody is either hurt or stressed out. So see how this goes. Also, I have to ruin a blue coat's life today, I think.
No, let's not do that. We'll see what goes on. Speaking of ruining our lives, Preacher. What's going on, Josh? I had to, it was there. I had to take it.
What kind of fucking transition is this?
The only life that you've ruined so far is mine as the GM with your little Twitch capture last week.
Oh.
Which, yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate that one.
Aww.
All right. Tell us who you are and who you'll be playing this fine evening while you're not messing with Twitch overlays and capture moments.
I really, really enjoyed it. If it makes you, if it helps, the pain any. Okay.
The voice crack was the best.
That was the
voice
best
crack.
part.
Was the best.
Anywho, hi, I'm Saevrick or Josh, and tonight I'm playing Preacher, who's a he, him. We both use he, him pronouns. I'm the group's whisperer and destroyer of Nathan's dreams.
There's so many people that have that title already, so just jump in line. All right, and we're going to end up, last player is Hannah. Hannah, could you tell us who you are and who you'll be playing tonight?
I am Hannah. My character is Miss Fritter. We both use she, her pronouns. Yeah, that's it.
Sounds good. All right, so we're going to go through some mechanical stuff right quick and get that out of the way, and then we'll jump into some downtime scenes. We'll start with the payoff, which is the money-making portion of the event. You all didn't have a set amount, a dollar figure for this last one for finishing Ankhet Park, but you did basically get them, get the zaps, get the sparks to light as another basically stream of income. So we're going to add that to the 2 that you already have existing. So at each one of our downtime phases, we're going to add another die. The first die is for the track. The second die is for the drug den. The third die will be for the Sparks Delight. So this will be the total coin that you all will gain, along with any other coin that you gain during the score or in or out. I'm going to roll some dice, 3 d6s. Let's see what we come up with. A 3, a 2, and a 3, so 8. So this time period, you've gotten 8 coin out of your 3 businesses. How would you all like to divide that up? Now remember that you can only have like 4 coin on you as a person, and then as a group, you can hold 4 coin in the vault total. The rest can you actually put, if you don't spend it, but you can spend it on extra die or extra effect or one extra downtime action. You can also just add it straight to your stash. And that is basically the bank account that you're going to use. It's like your pension, your IRA, your retirement fund. That is what's going to set your character up whenever the season ends or whatever happens, and your character goes about their merry way. If they don't actually die, if you choose for them not to die, they can just retire from this life and live off that money. So that's kind of where the extra money ends up going. What are y'all going to do with the 8? Is it 2 per? Is it...
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Lynn, were you saying something? You were muted. Oh, you
I'll
good?
say that sounds good.
Okay. Just want to make sure we got you. All right.
I object.
All of it.
I didn't think so, but I wanted to double check. I hate you all. Why do I do this? Again, 12 or 15 more times, and I'm going to think about doing something else. Okay, so that's payoff. Let's also do XP because it's not listed under rules, and I always forget it to the end. So each one of you is going to gain 4 personal XP. Those XP can be used on your personal playbook under character mode to add flags to any of the 3 attributes: Insight, Prowess, or Resolve, or can be added to the playbook advancement down at the bottom. This is in addition to any time you roll a desperate roll, you automatically get a flag in the attribute you rolled in. So if you roll under Prowess for a desperate action, you automatically get a flag under Prowess. So make sure you mark your 4. If that gets you another pip in something, choose what that pip is. And if you choose to do playbook advancement, which means that you get another special ability, please tell us what that special ability is. Did anyone advance?
Fritter did. And she just took another pip in skirmish.
Skirmish, and what is that for her? How many is that for her?
3.
3? Okay.
So right, she has 3 in skirmish and 3 in rec.
Yep. So at this point, you all can you are able to have up to 3 in something. You cannot have 4 until you have mastery under the crew upgrade. That's when you can add a 4th pip to something, which we haven't worked on that yet. But okay. So Lynn, did Miss Corbin go up in anything?
Yep. The resolve track has been filled up. So I am putting a 3rd pip in command.
Nice. Command. Very, very useful. How about eyes?
No, I kind of split it between the resolve and...
No problem at all.
Stuff.
And preacher, anything?
I didn't gain or advance anything, no.
Okay, no problem at all. So let's go through the cruise under crew mode. Let's go through the cruise XP. And what this affects is basically when our crew gets to move up and gain more crew upgrades or special abilities, whatever they choose to do. Right now we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10. This may or may not put them over the edge. Let's find out. So did you execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
We thieved a person.
We stole her.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did indeed.
You did a steal. Did you contend with challenges? Well, yeah. Did you contend with challenges above your current station? I would say yes. The junk monster that we had basically was pretty badass and was pretty high above your station. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? So the crew's reputation that I have down is ambitious.
Still.
Did you
Well, we kind of developed a reputation for killing bluecoats in the park
There's that, and we'll
because
definitely
we had to add Darlene.
Oh,
to the crew.
we'll definitely follow up with that on under heat, which is next. Don't worry, I did not forget.
Of course not.
Did your crew?
I don't know otherwise though.
I want to say that you're gaining a new reputation.
Hmm.
And I don't know if
For
it's
cyanide?
I mean,
it's. I mean, the last 2 missions you've had multiple deaths.
Why do you say that apprehensively?
Did anybody die, or did they just get it? Some
No,
people died.
they got
The Bluecoats
cyanide and
died.
dropped in the river.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
they got cyanide. Okay, they got.
They ain't coming
Yeah.
back from that one.
I was not.
Oh, that means there's
aware.
ghosts. That means there's ghosts and shit there now.
Yeah.
Stay away from the pond.
Yeah, there was no ghost before. Now
Ghost
in
pond.
Egghead Park, we're just refilling the ambient temperature with ghosts. I want to say, is your new reputation? Is it reckless?
Bite your tongue.
Or
How about
deadly.
ruthless?
Ruthless.
Yeah, ruthless.
Okay.
Ruthless
Ooh, I
is
like
good.
that.
That's a good.
like
I mean,
that.
we're a small
Yeah.
gang, so that's to our benefit.
Ruthless. Okay, so ruthless. I like that. All right,
not
so that's
mix with
3
us.
because you just gained another one. And then did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or central nature of the crew? This is kind of the catch-all. You're going to gain this every time, basically just by being a crew. Everyone's going to define it differently. I think this is just general role play, which you all knock out of the park. So 4. All right, so you actually gain a crew advancement. So before next time, we won't do this on screen because it gets boring and everybody will go through everything. What my players will do is they'll look. So what, as you all know, what you can do, you can either have 1 special ability or you can mark off 2 boxes of stuff, basically. That could be anything from better quarters or a pip in the mastery column or better quality gear implements. They'll go through and choose what they want to do. We'll announce it before the next score because it'll impact what we do to play wise. But we don't have to worry about it here. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so as homework, look through the special abilities and the crew upgrades, see which one you want. We'll talk about it offline, and we'll add it to there. Okay, so that's that. That's the XP. We don't worry about rep. We don't push rep for this because we're doing seasons, and so we're going up in rep every season, or we have so far, so that's going to stay. But heat. Let's talk about heat. So after a score conflict with an opponent, the crew takes heat. Add +1 heat for a high profile or well-connected target. Add +1 heat if the situation happens on a hostile turf. +1 heat if you're at war. +2 heat if killing was involved. So how do we want to say that? Let's start with what our base was. Was this contained standard exposure? Was this smooth and quiet low exposure?
I mean, other than the deaths, no one really.
Other than
No
Any
one
idea?
knew about it.
Yeah, I'd say pretty.
No one knew
smooth.
about the heist. They knew, but now they
No.
knew about the
the
cyanide.
ending. The ending wasn't.
pastry.
But
No.
the rest
I
of
will.
it.
Let's do this. Somewhere between 0. So 0 is smooth and quiet low exposure. 2 is contained with standard exposure.
Contained, I think, is if it would be smooth. I think if we weren't ever.
If we
like,
hadn't poisoned people.
I always
and had
think it's like
diversions.
I think it's always like I think of the 0 as like, non-exposure in a game
Right.
or something like that. It's like, yep, you're
Yeah, 0 to me is if no one saw you,
Yeah.
no one even knew you were there. It was like you were never there.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be. I think we have to go contained standard
contained.
exposure.
Contained sounds good.
Simply because we also made Darlene come into this, and
family
that
thing
is a
now.
tie. So it's going to be 2, and then was it a high-profile target? No. Does the situation happen on hostile turf? No. If you're not at war, but there was killing involved, so it's going to be 4.
Who died though? Oh wait, the bluecoats.
The
They should have.
Bluecoats.
You know what? It was their fault. They shouldn't have brought in Miss Fritter for questioning. This is what they get.
They shouldn't have, and yet
They
they
got
did.
got.
It's
So-
like you don't do that now.
So now we add 4 to our existing heat, which was at 6 out of
We're
9.
gonna have to we're
So
gonna have to set someone up for.
now
some-
we're at
for some
wanted
shit.
level 2, which
Oh no,
gets
That
a little
doesn't
bit
sound
trickier.
good.
it's not
Nope.
great. This is like months in jail, if I recall.
Yeah, this is month or so in jail
Okay, this is where we gotta deal with someone.
for someone. But we'll see how that goes. That may play out story-wise. You never know. All right, so that's that. Entanglements. I don't think at this point in time we're going to mess with entanglements. I don't ever feel like with this group that they fit. We're entangled in a lot of different things in a lot of different ways already, and I don't think they add much to the story you all are already telling. I feel like if we had a group where there wasn't a lot of RP outside of the group as far as getting connections into Dustfall or starting out, it's great. But at this point in time, you all know who the enemies are. You all know who you want to deal with and who you don't. And I just don't feel like it adds what we wanted to add. Tell me if you all think I'm wrong on this, or if you want to disagree. That's perfectly fine.
I'm cool with it.
I'm cool with it. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
good.
That just also means I can pull in whatever I want whenever I want it to make y'all's lives harder. Because you all roll like
It's like I think it's
gods
just,
and goddesses.
there's no lack of
False.
things that get us in trouble or us
Last
that
week.
get in trouble.
Last week that changed a lot.
You had one or two bad rolls.
Last week was terrible.
That was the double.
We're
Was
not
that the
used
double
to
ones? That was the double
You
ones.
had one triple one,
Or triple ones. That's right.
and it was even
Yeah.
on a bullcrap thing that I couldn't do anything with again. So I don't want to hear it. You also had a triple six and multiple sixes on other things.
Yeah.
So
Whatever. I'm hurt, both physically and mentally.
How hurt
Oh,
was I? Was
You are
two,
traumatized.
like
Yeah, I got a trauma and
Yeah.
2 lesser harms.
two lesser harms. Okay, you're not
so yeah.
too
So
major
let's go
harms.
around and say where we are when we end. I guess we should have done this from the start. So it's my bad as the narrator. So our last score was a finishing from the first one. Our crew went into Ankahet Park and was going to figure out what is going on with the brothers, who they were taking things to. There was Eyes got dressed up like a robot. There was a Trojan horse thing with Eyes and 2 of the guards, and Miss Corbin was playing lookout. We had to get Darlene involved because basically the Cyrene, the last remaining alive brother, was captured by the Bluecoats the week before, and he squealed and told the Bluecoats exactly where you all would be. So they were out in force. Darlene was able to make some was it cookies? Pastries,
Yeah.
and feed to some of the guards, which Bluecoats, which of course made them sick. And our team went in right afterwards, took care of Miss Fritter, serenaded them to sleep forever with a little cyanide. And then dumped their bodies in the river for them to float away forever. And off we went into the bottom of this abandoned not Coliseum, amphitheater, basically at the bottom of Ankahet Park. When we got down there, they found a woman, a scientist, appearing to be a woman, who was doing some experiments and trying to figure out what's going on. She thought that they were bringing in a new hull, which is a mechanical body with a spirit inside, for her testing. And when she got close, Miss Fritter basically knocked her out in one cold-cocking punch. When that happened, the hull that she had set to guard her actually came to life and proceeded to beat upon the players, and as best it could. They were able to figure out the mechanism that released the spirit back into the world and trigger that, which then everyone was kind of left bent and broken, some physically, some mentally, and we'll give those stats here in just a second to see where we start with. But there were some really good rolls, and then there's some bad rolls, so I had a good time with it, except for one shining colossal screw-up moment where I lost my voice trying to figure out how bad it was going to be for me. But hey, whatever. If you missed it, go look at the clip. It's, even for me, it's hilarious. All right, so let's go around and tell physically and stress-wise where you're at as a character before we start these downtime actions. Let's start... Eyes, you were talking about this earlier. So where are you at physically? What harm do you have? Any?
I have 2 lesser harms. One
2 level
one
ones?
physical. Yep.
Okay. So you have 2 level 1 harms, and where are you at stress-wise?
Maximum damage.
Okay. So you're actually, the good thing is you're actually at 0 stress. It resets, but you have a trauma. And that trauma is picked up in the game. For the mechanics of the game, if you get 4 traumas, you have to retire that character, move forward. We're nowhere near there. You also play traumas as you wish. So here's my thoughts, and you tell me if what you feel like. If you do something out of line, out of what you would normally do, and invoke that trauma, and it causes something to be that's not advantageous for you, so it would put you in a disadvantageous position, you gain an XP. So instead of what is Eyes' trauma? What did you choose?
Perfectly in line with where our crew's headed. Reckless.
So I see this as a case
kind of headed
of
that way anyway. So
yeah, but it works. I see this as a case of if you do something reckless that puts yourself in danger, or puts your teammates in danger, or puts someone else in danger that you would not normally do, you'll gain an XP point.
Okay.
Cool. But it has to be pretty clear, because those XP are pretty hard. But you also don't have to at any point in time. It can also just be a role playing thing that you put into it, or it could be like it never happened, it never existed.
Sure.
So it's truly up to how far you want to take it. So you're at 0 stress right now, which is good. You do have the 1 trauma. You're at 2. You're 2 on the harm. Both of your level 1s are filled.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are.
And then you don't have any level 2 or level 3 harm, right?
I do not.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's move to the next character. Lynn, do you want to say Miss Corbin? Where is Miss Corbin at stress-wise?
She is at 8 stress.
Okay.
And no injuries. Yeah.
And no injuries. Okay, that's very good.
Wait. 4, 5. Yep. Okay. Yep.
8. And for those playing our home game, 10 is it 10? 1, 2, 3.
It's not 9. It looks like 9 or 9, and then 10. 10 is the.
So yeah. So if you get 10 trauma, 10 stress before the resets, then you gain a trauma, and it automatically resets for you. Game mechanic wise, your character is supposed to be out, but we're not playing that mechanic. So moving right on. All right, Preacher, where are you at, stress and harm wise?
I have 1 level 1 harm, and I have 9 stress.
9 stress. We're so close, so close to that elusive. All right.
Yeah.
And Miss Fritter, where are you at, harm and stress wise?
I have a level 1 harm from the first score when I was shot with a derringer in the leg.
Okay.
And I'm max stress.
Oh, okay. So here's a thing: is if you plan on getting for your downtime actions, if you all have a healing clock. If you do something toward that healing clock, you go to get healed by Miss Corbin's employee. Then we'll progress the clock. If you get 4 ticks of the clock, then you basically reduce it down 1 level. Even if you have 2 harm at 1 level, it'll all reduce at once. You can also just heal naturally, but you take 2 stress in order to do that. And that means you roll 0 dice. You see what the number comes up with. You hit accordingly. So 1 to 3 is 1 piece of pie. 4 to 5 is 2. A 6 would be 3, and then 2 6s is 4. But you can't get 2 6s on a 0 die. All right, so let's go into it a little bit. Who wants to have our first scene, and who wants to do their first downtime action? I know we have some people itching to run some downtime actions. We could go in reverse order. Is that okay? So let's do Miss Fritter first. Let us know.
Okay.
Know. What is Miss Fritter going to do for her first downtime action?
Question is that at the end of last session, when the letter was read out loud, how is that Fritter? Does Fritter have that letter yet, or is that part of this?
I can be part of this depending on where this action is. Is this downtime at her home or is it somewhere else?
That would depend on if she already has the letter or not. That's why I'm asking.
I got you. She does not have the letter yet.
Okay. If she doesn't have the letter yet, then it's probably downtime, Fritter cooking breakfast for Preacher.
And where are you all?
Fritter's house.
Okay. Sounds good. So is this a scene that needs to happen or is this just
No.
take place? Okay.
Yeah.
So is that going to be, I believe that's stress reduction?
Yep.
Is that what we talked about? Okay. So let's roll. So if you, basically it's going to be a vice. So let's roll your indulge vice and let's see what you get.
Yeah, I think
Do I
this
get
was
any
our,
bonus die?
this was our shared indulgence.
I don't want to
if
go
remember
into
correctly.
it. Should I ask? No. Mm-mm.
You don't have to ask. I think it's pretty well implied, but
Um,
Do I get any bonus die? That was my question.
yeah, I know. I was
We
gonna
can just
make a,
roll right past it. It's
I was gonna
fine.
make a
Wow.
remark, but
We don't
I
have to
won't.
stop there.
So
Um,
meek. So meek.
Yeah, I think because per the rules of the game, if you involve another PC or another NPC in your downtime action, you do get a +1 die. So I believe that there was another NPC or PC involved in this action, so we will grant you that extra die. Trying to be as mechanical as I can about that.
This is why we worked this out
this
before
is-
we were
yeah.
streaming.
I don't-
So we didn't have to do this.
Didn't mean I thought about
I'm
it.
so glad that y'all did this.
so does that count as one of my actions as well then?
Oh, it's so funny.
If you would like to take the stress relief from it, yes.
Fuck yeah.
I rolled
I
a
would.
6, so you might as well.
Yes, you all can then share that if you like.
Oh, absolutely. So that takes me down.
What do I do now?
Okay,
Now
so
that I
then
did
it
this?
takes you from 9 stress, you reduce by the highest amount. So you reduce 6, so you're
Nice.
now at 3 stress.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
And Preacher, you were at 8.
Where it was full.
No, he was at 9.
You were at 9.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
close.
So you're now at 3 as well.
Yep.
So you both are at 3 stress.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Twice. All right, moving on to the next one.
Does this increase my winded? Just asking.
No, I don't think it has any effect on physical harm or injury. If it does, that's another thing all entirely.
Oh my god,
I
yeah.
had to be juvenile for a moment.
This is
All right, moving on to the next scene.
Okay.
So I guess Preacher's had one. Preacher and Fritter both have had one downtime action. Lynn, what is Miss Corbin's first downtime action?
Oh, first thing is we have some unfinished business with our good what was it our good dear captain that we have to
Valetta?
deal with. Yes, because surely we've what we did certainly did not go unnoticed by the blue coats. Certainly.
No, it certainly
So
did not.
best deal with this now before they have a chance to find out that we didn't, and do what happened, like abduct another one of us and make our lives hell. So I'm gonna go back to the our lovely friends at the paper.
Okay. What mechanically are you attempting to do?
I'm doing that clock of dealing with Rune Violetta.
Yep. All right. So your
Hopefully put
long-term
someone-
project.
Yeah. This time it's just going to be prepared documents on. This would never have happened if someone incurred discipline in the men. This clearly reeks less of malice and more of bad training and incompetence in leadership. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. You strike at the heart of Valletta and the blue coats that are in both the both regions. Yes.
Mhm.
All right. So go ahead and roll. What are you going to be rolling for this?
Consort.
Consort. Okay.
A good
So let's-
friend. So trusted source. So
Absolutely.
let's
Yep.
see. So it's going. Oh my god. Ugh. Gross.
All right. So, the I had the person. Sias. Sias takes the things and says basically just like the last time. They're like, I could print these, but no one really seems to care. Like it doesn't seem to really matter. Like they, for some reason, they love this Valletta. They don't know why or where she came from, but she's been around forever and she's almost untouchable at this point. So I don't know. I mean, I'll run them. We'll see what happens. And the fallback is that you gain some support, a little bit more support, but it's
Mhm.
not enough. So you're only going to gain one more tick on this long-term
Okay.
project clock.
Just this should be good enough to at least keep those thoughts out there in case the next thing happens.
So you're at 3 out of 6, yes?
Um,
Because you were 2 last time on a 6-turn clock.
Oh, 6 turn. Okay, yeah, 2 out of 6. Yeah,
Okay, so now you're at 3 out of 6.
yeah.
Okay. And that basically at the end of that clock, you'll have something in order to make Valletta back off or
Sorry. There
transfer
we go.
or
It's not the right clock.
or remove Valletta. That's
Yeah.
what you decide to do. Okay. All right. Eyes. What are you doing for your first downtime action?
So I'm going to go see Miss Corbin's healer, but I'm going to take Darlene with me
Okay.
because we need to have a chat.
All right. You find the notes, the guy's name, healer.
Oh, it's I have it. Sturgill.
Sturgill. Yep, Sturgill. That's who it is. All right. So Sturgill is probably working out of the. He works out of the racetrack most days when he's not betting or messing with something. Kind of takes in strays and waifs and helps people as he can, and it's gotten some pretty good response. Ms. Corbin's new contacts within the hive are using him quite regularly, and he's set up kind of a low key office there. So you have an appointment, and you and Darlene are. Does Darlene meet you there? Are you walking with her there, or where's this scene taking place?
We're gonna walk there together. We're gonna walk
Okay.
to the church.
Yeah.
And kind of have kind of hand in hand, and we actually are. We have matching outfits. I'm wearing a my pretty traditional purple and less traditional. This one's more yellow than purple. This one, and she has this like really cool like matching yellow sundress that I got her for our first anniversary actually, and we're just kind of walking hand in hand down the street. So first of all, you are way more brave than I ever considered giving you credit for initially. So, first of all, thank you. You were stupendous. But how do you feel?
Takes a big sigh and kind of looks around. She says, "Thank you, but I mean, you kind of do this stuff for us. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know. You get ideas until you're there and your hands are shaking and you're thinking that they're gonna catch you and
Yeah.
they're gonna haul you off to jail and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be awful, and then it goes through without a hitch and I just hope they're okay. You know, I just put enough in there to make them sick, not
Sure.
enough to like hurt them really bad or anything. I hope that's okay.
No, of course not. You did great, babe. You did great.
Thanks.
That adrenaline, though, it's dangerous, right?
It is. I don't know that this is from me. You know, just kept running through my head and just I don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm glad we were able to help people, and that's kind of how I have to see it. The blue coats are not good. They're not on the right side. But I do. Are we?
There's a bit of a pause. Yeah, you know, until a few months ago, I was confident, but now I'm not so sure. You know, the irony of it is I caught someone in a lie recently that I didn't expect to. that I trusted initially, implicitly. Then with trepidation, and now not at all. So I asked this person why we were doing this. They gave me an answer, but not a talk around answer. But this time, they actually straight up lied to me. And you know the crazy thing about it is, they know that I know.
Did they lie to protect you from something?
No.
Or maybe they lie to protect themselves.
That's exactly what I think.
So, is it a lie?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Do you enjoy this?
Not as much as I used to.
So things change, right?
As I
Absolute
always do.
truths change.
Yeah.
So if I'd asked you that the other day and you just said, yeah, you enjoy it, but now not so much, would your words the other day have been a lie?
No. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
But there's a difference. It was a lie on purpose.
Did you
For
ask
someone
him?
that... Not yet. I need to gather some more information first. And then we'll have a conversation about it.
Again, how well do you actually know these people?
I'm beginning to think not as much as I thought.
So then you just have me and Joseph to be there.
Well, of course. But now that we're all together, it becomes more important than ever for me to be in a situation that will allow us to keep us all safe. If I can't trust someone, that means that we're not safe. If we're not safe, that means I'm breaking my promise to you, and that is not fucking okay.
Would you lie to keep us safe?
I already have.
I think she just kind of looks at you for a second. Okay.
Remember? Absolute trust now.
Absolutely.
Let's kind of kiss her on the hand.
Yep. And I think with this, the weather has turned colder in this last few weeks. And kind of as you're out walking and in your daily interactions with all of you, the first drops of snow start to fall. Maybe it's what I'm looking at outside and that's making me come inside. It's not nice, pretty walk, play in, throw snowball snow. It's a gray, nasty, sludgy type snow that seems to cling to things. It stains windows. It gets on clothing and won't and almost stains clothing. It's almost like a combination between snow and ash at the same time. And it is utterly it makes the world a dirtier, nastier place. All right. Are you good?
The games begin.
Okay. So mechanically, you go to see Sturchill, and you can roll 2 die because he is a tier 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll. If you can just roll 2d6s, or I can roll them. It's whatever you want to do. And we'll take because you're using. You want me to roll them, or you want to roll them?
I'll just actually, yeah, you go ahead. You don't roll enough. Go for it.
I prefer you to roll them. That way, if I roll bad, you don't blame me.
I was gonna blame you regardless.
I know. That's see ya. Try to head that off in the pass.
Did I just hit the roll fortune button? Is that
Yeah. If you just want to do roll fortune 2 die.
cool?
This is how good he can help you, kind of clean you up and get you going back. Ooh. Sturgill's been
Yay!
on. Sturgill's been on a pretty bad bender, a losing streak, and basically just gives you something, some stuff to put in your tea and kind of an herbal remedy that's not really going to do much. It's just going to help you get through. So,
Another thing to confront Corbin on.
so you can add that's 1 pip on your heal roll. On your progress clock for healing, it'd be one slice.
Got it.
Okay.
Do you remember what we named my other clock? I have two on my.
Which one? The one for the creature?
Yeah. Yep.
Find out who's behind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't read my own writing.
It's good. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay, you get. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's always good when I can't read my writing.
That's why I don't write anything anymore. Type.
I just shouldn't, but I do. All right. So we're good there. Okay, so that's 1 round. Any scenes, any non-mechanical scenes that just need to happen that you all want to happen right now in between these 2 downtime events? No? Okay. All good. Just giving you, just trying it out. All right. Let's go to Preacher. Go ahead. And what is Preacher's second downtime action?
What I would like to do is get some of this heat off of us. And I have a pocket full of money to do so. So, I don't know that I have any contacts within the Bluecoats, though. Honestly.
I don't think we've established any. Doesn't mean you don't or you can't. I mean, we can make that up. You know, you've got to have contacts. It's just a matter of they haven't been seen on screen before now.
Yeah, and one that's not going to like throw me in jail the moment they see me.
That is so. Remember, you all are at wanted
Yeah.
level 2.
Exactly.
Which means so mechanically in the game, if I have to involve the Bluecoats, it's probably going to be like a 4-turn clock, and anyone that catches is going to go to Iron Hook Prison for a while. Or you can try to get someone else to. You can try to pin your actions onto someone else, or pay them to move it down. Whatever you want to try to do.
My goal is honestly to pay some coin out. Try to buy some people to take their eyes off of us. At least in this part that we're established in currently.
Mm-hmm.
To try to buy some friends within the Blue Coat organization if possible.
Okay. So what attribute are you going to look to do that with?
Probably Sway.
So sway someone with charm, logic, deception, disguise, bluff, change attitude or behavior with manipulation or seduction. I think this is swaying your behaving where you're trying to manipulate them, deceiving them, disguising them, bluffing them. Absolutely.
Coin is very seductive. So
It very much is. It's what keeps me going to my day job, at least I know.
right.
So okay, so let's talk about this.
Okay.
So you all are at level 2. There's really not so the game mechanic itself. So let's talk about game mechanics and see what we want to do with this, because I'm totally open to whatever. You all know this. The game mechanic itself reduces the heat that you have accrued so far, but does not reduce wanted level.
Okay.
But I think that should be on the table for how you all want to take this. So I'll let you choose. I'll let you choose between 2 things because you only have 1 heat, so reducing heat doesn't really make sense at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think let's try this. You can either take a swipe at reducing the wanted level, which is going to cost you. It's going to cost you 2 coin, and it's going to have to be. It's going to have to be success. You have to roll the sway to succeed. If you succeed with the consequence, we'll figure out what that consequence is, but you're still going to have to succeed. Or if you fail, the 2 coins gone, and it doesn't even matter. So they just took your money and rolled out.
Okay.
Or I'll let you reduce the heat for whatever you all do next. So this is a payment beforehand. Hey, we're coming into here. You never saw us. I'll let you choose on how, and if that's the case, whatever you roll will be the heat reduction. So if you roll a 3, if you were to get 3 heat on the next roll, it blanks out. I'll let you all choose what you want. So I guess it comes down to, do you think you can succeed or not?
I either
Say we go for
succeed
it.
wildly or fail miserably. So
Let's roll the dice.
Do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's see where it goes.
Your team is talking. So pay the 2 coin.
I will pay the 2 coin.
Yep, and let's roll some sway. And this is going to be sent as an anonymous. Basically, you're going to do this through a third party, through the ciphers, to pay off the guard captain there in Night Market, to basically make some paperwork disappear and spread some cash around.
Can I pay coin to improve the result?
Absolutely.
Okay. So how much do I have to pay for that?
So if you pay 1 coin, you can either get an extra die, or you can get an extra effect.
Okay. I think I'll go for the extra die.
Okay.
This is going to be risky.
Risky and standard does it on all these rolls. They're not going to matter. So
Okay.
it's just the outcome that matters.
Okay, here goes. Wonderful.
These numbers are. Roll20 does not like us today.
Just what I was what I'm. Yeah. So how long do I go to prison for?
So you
Don't go to prison. It's like a month. It's like a
Yeah.
month if you get caught by the blue code.
So you don't go to prison. You don't go to prison because you used a third party cipher.
That
The
person's
cipher
going to prison.
the cipher comes back and basically says that your package was delivered, and you should hear shortly. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you keep watching to see if basically you're. I want to say it's kind of like the wanted posters. You know, there's like a wanted. Everybody kind of knows. You keep thinking that that's going to go away, and it just doesn't. So you know that whoever the captain is there, or someone, the cipher or the captain took the bribe and just never did anything with it.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Okay.
So glad I had my turn.
We're on a roll.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ones. There's
I don't,
a lot of 1, 2 things. I don't appreciate this
Hey.
Roll20.
I don't know any way to have role play extra in this scene, so
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. That's okay. We'll come back because you want to do a scene with Ezekiah as well, or no?
I mean I do. But like I told you, I don't know how far to go with it. So
You can see where it goes.
yeah, I think we'll have to do that then.
Okay. All right. Let's go around, then we'll come back to that.
Okay.
All right. Miss Fritter, what is your second downtime action?
Fritter's second downtime action is gonna be dressing up in exquisite clothes that none of you have probably ever seen, maybe in your lives. Oh no, Edie probably has. And she's gonna go downtown to where men of a certain age and rank play chess and drink brandy in the afternoon, and sit down across from one that she hasn't seen in a long time and have a nice chat.
Okay. Who's this chat with?
Edie's father. Forgot what we called him. Shit.
Farnsworth.
His name. Yes, Farnsworth.
Lynn, is that you're on mute again?
Dinar Farnsworth.
Dinar Farnsworth. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dinar is absolutely. Let me look at the map real quick. Where would Dinar be? Dinar is in Brightstone, which is the north, in the northern part of the city. It is home of the courts, and some of the noble families live there. Most of the really ultra rich live on White Crown, which is the island that the emperor kind of lives at and stays at. But Brightstone is the old money part of town. So the streets are wide, they're paved very well. There's carriages that are driving up and down, kind of like what the the thought is on Rodeo Drive or somewhere like that. Lots of shops and different places like that. And I believe that there's a an open tent market with heat that is being pumped out by coal, and there are definitely the upper crust is gathered in these gardens that are lit, that are surrounded by phosphorescent mushroom trees and things like that they're glowing this eerily yellow and red glow. Dinar is sitting at a table and is looking at over the pieces of a chessboard as he makes his final move and captures the queen of the player that he is against right now. The other player is an older gentleman too, with a large walrus mustache, and kind of harumphs and gets up and walks away very angry. And Dinar looks back at a couple of cronies that are around him and proceeds to. He didn't even give me a. Really wasn't much of a match this time. I guess that property he put up might be worth something after all. Oh well, guess we'll see. And when does Miss Fritter show up?
As his disgruntled poor victim kind of scampers off, Fritter would just take a seat without addressing him or anything else and cross her arms and sit back and say something like, still running the same scam, the same opening gambit.
He, in a now familiar pose, the camera takes cuts to him drinking some whiskey, and in the same light that he showed Miss Corbin at the end of last season, he sets the whiskey down slowly on the table and says, as long as it still makes money and works, yes. And who are you?
She kind of smirks, and she takes an old leather-bound journal out of her pocket and puts it on the table, and it would be something he would recognize from at some point in his past when they would have crossed paths. Okay. Or he would have crossed paths with Fritter's husband.
Okay. Yeah, it is a journal of probably some books that may not be on the up and up from a business venture they had a very long time ago. And he thought it had been destroyed, but Fritter's husband did not destroy them. And he looks it over and he says, what is this? But there is a glint of recognition in his eye.
The real question is what you're planning on doing to her. And Fritter snatches the book back.
Okay. He kind of looks at his cronies and says, can you give us a second? Let me deal with this. She probably wants money or something, who knows. And very dismissively and kind of looks back at you. And as they walk away, he says, what do you want?
Fritter is just going to sit and size him up and very emotionless, which is not normal. Just say, nothing happens to her.
That's her choice.
No.
She came to play in my pool.
This is your choice. Nothing happens to her.
It's sad she had to send you here.
Do you remember years ago, before my husband died, there were times when you acknowledged that you had this child, and there were times when you didn't. And there were times when people you knew had broken legs and people you knew didn't. And there were times when people you knew were alive and then they died. And all of that can come back to you. I have kept my distance because she is safe and she is alive. If that changes, I come back to see you. And I don't care what happens to me in the process or what happens to any of these little things that you do and your little scams and your little bullshit stories that you weave around here about who you are and what you do. But if anything happens to her, I hold you personally responsible and I will come back to you.
You should have told her to stay out of my business.
Haven't you seen her yet? Don't you know what she is?
What?
She's everything that you could never be.
It's
And
yet to
Fritter's
be
out.
determined.
Fritter's out. She's just up and she's gone. She's like, fuck you at this point. She's out.
Okay.
She's probably going to punch a fucking douchebag on the corner when she's out too, because she's just seething with rage inside, and she's just going to wait for somebody that doesn't step out of her way, and she's just going to deck somebody in the street. Let's send her to jail. It's fine.
All right.
We'll deal with it.
So mechanically, did you want something from that scene?
I don't know. You probably have to add stress back.
Nope, I will not.
It's fine. I'd be okay if you did.
Nope, no stress.
No.
Long-term clock, anything?
I don't think I actually have any long-term clocks going at the moment. Yeah, I don't think I do.
Okay.
No,
If you can,
that was just a
free play.
yeah, more or less.
Yep, absolutely.
Can't handle something happening to Corbin. Okay.
So if you want to think of another downtime action, whether
We
it's
do.
heal,
We have another one worked
Okay.
out. So
okay, that's perfectly fine then. Okay, let's go. So the camera would pan from an angry Miss Fritter walking away to a calm Miss Corbin. Where's Miss Corbin now?
Miss Corbin's actually, you know what? Word got back to her about woeful performance of her hire, so she is going to pay Eyes a house visit and see how he is doing.
Okay. I think when you come to the door, it's Joseph that answers, and he, as you knock on the door, he does the quick kind of the open the door, close the door to see who you are, and then opens it back again when he sees it's you. He's like, "Hi, you're a friend. Mom and Dad said I can let in friends. Are you are a friend? You coming inside?"
Yeah, I would. Well, thank you, but usually with this time, you should check with your parents first.
Well, I do,
Some-
but we have a standing list of people that are able to come inside anytime, and you're on the list.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, you made it. You made the list.
Hmm.
There's not very many of them, though. There's only like 4,
Oh.
3, 4.
Well, I should be honored then. Such a privileged view.
So you gonna come inside?
Thank you.
Please. So then he tries to be the gentleman and opens the door and kind of lets you step inside and closes the door behind you. He says, I'm supposed to ask why you're here so I can go tell Mom and Dad that you're here.
I'm here to speak with your father.
I know that tone of voice. Mom uses that tone of voice and somebody usually gets in trouble. Okay, I'll be right back. And he runs off. And you hear him yelling, Dad, 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 Dad.
Yeah.
Special
Kiddo.
visitors, special visitors here, special visitors here.
You know you don't need to yell, right? I'm right here.
I yell at everything. This is what I do. I yell.
Yeah, I know. It's the part of the okay. Okay.
All right. Then I think you hear him
I'll come
running
out.
to tell Darlene that Miss Corbin is there. Not that she's needed, but just to say, hey, we got a visitor. And here's what I did. I let her in, and I even did the special knock, and I did the thing. So that's what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. No. I'll come out. Well, I was not anticipating a visitor today. I'm kind of like just kind of. Oh, yeah, it's. Ooh, oh, I can't even pretend to be cool right now. To be very honest with you.
Mm. I think she's just looking around. It's like, oh, so this. It's very comforting, I suppose.
It does the job. You know.
You're probably wondering why I'm here, but you seem to be walking around. How is the injury?
It could be better.
Oh, yes.
But it's I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little old for these things nowadays.
Are the boys getting sloppy?
Oh God, I think maybe. It's one of
Oh,
those things, right?
don't. Suppose it's not. It's. Do not bail him out when he underperforms. He should know. It's hard to take away that entitled noble out of him, and sometimes he doesn't realize that he is employed and he has to do the work. And this time,
to be fair, I was absolutely going to throw him under the bus. Like this is the second time, and 100% going to throw him under the bus. So, yeah.
Don't you worry. I have had a talk with him, and he had to be reminded of what we did to keep him from keep him still walking, right? And that he owes me and he owes you. And his lackluster performance doesn't do him any favors, and we could just give his debts to someone else that is less charitable than us.
That is fair.
And
glass of wine, by the way.
Oh, that's why I'm here. I brought something for you, and I brought a little bit of this. It's dream smoke. It's helps with aches every once in a while. I figured could use it after what happened.
Wow, I really appreciate that. Thank you. That means an awful lot.
Yes. Speaking of that, what did happen?
Well, as the loaded many coin question, isn't it? I don't really know. That's kind of the problem.
Because it seemed that 1 second you're in control, next second you were not.
Yeah.
Was it something in there? Is there something we should look at? Because I will be honest, there's a good chance all of us could have died down there.
Yeah.
And these little jobs that we keep for our neighborhoods they're adding up very slowly. And I keep hoping that this one with the woman that we got and the various contraptions will be of some value. I was hoping that maybe you can lay me on anything you could think of in there.
I think I've been there before.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's where all this came from. But that's really not what worries me. I'm
really... but maybe be the one to pry. What does worry you?
Sure. Well, based off of what I saw, I made the assumption that the procedure that was done on me was just about, my eyes. But based off of what I've seen, I don't know if there's more to the story in that regard. I
Usually
didn't.
things aren't as cut and dried, so that is a good assumption.
Yeah, because I kind of grew up fairly athletically gifted, but not quite what I've been afforded lately. And but I just took it as uh, new eyes, who this? But now I'm beginning to be a little bit more worried about what I don't know, and then add on top of that, whatever's trying to confront me on the side. These two things being related, it was a bit of a surprise. But that's one thing, and hopefully that'll be sorted out.
One thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can find something with that, and maybe you'll remember something in time.
That's the one. The second is, when are you going to tell me the truth?
The truth.
You know that I know that I caught you in this little lie. The only person that's better at reading people than me is you.
I think
Now,
that little bit of friendly, like, is kind of, it's like the drink
there
is
you
like
are.
is gone,
There you
because
are.
I think she knows that this isn't something that she's going to be able to maneuver around.
So, here's the thing. Initially, before you came over, I was just going to do my due diligence, and then we were going to have a conversation.
Well, I guess we're having one now then, aren't we?
It would definitely save me a whole lot of time and heartache. We don't have to have it right now, but we definitely.
I know how
have
these things work. You're going to think about this, and then at some point, one of us is going to get distracted, and it's going to be bad for us. So, by all means, why don't we have this conversation right now? What is your worry about it? Has my performance not been good? Are you worried about me stabbing you in the back? That sort of thing. Is that what this is about?
No. It's that I've been nothing but transparent, and you have not been, and I've caught you. Now, of course, we've had our fun, give and take, but now I have my family back together, and that shit will not be fucking acceptable anymore.
Family first, I suppose. It's how it always is. Of course, I wouldn't know.
But you do. But maybe that's the mistake. Preacher certainly thinks that the Ash Syndicate is his family. I've clearly, by my actions, feel the same.
You would have to know what a family is like first.
The irony is that you don't even know that you've built one. Now, you could say it's all business, but yet we've made a lot of sacrifices for the betterment of where we are. And now shit's getting really fucking dangerous. And I kind of look to the back bedroom.
And you think I haven't made my sacrifices?
Of course. But you've never lied to me on purpose. before until now.
It's because I don't want to. Because it means no difference.
But you don't have the luxury of having a choice anymore. To be clear, and you said it yourself, you know how these go. I believe it was even your words. This is not a negotiation. So, we're having the conversation, are we not?
Here, so. You love your son.
With everything in my being.
And do you see yourself in your son?
Yeah. For better or for worse.
And that you see is a strong bond, correct? Something that ties you and him.
Of course.
That bond I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being.
You know I already knew that, right? When we were all together at Preachers talking about it, I saw how you reacted. The three of us coming together, you off in the corner. I knew then. But that didn't stop you from doing what was right. You were in the trenches with me when I needed you. I never lied. You can hate it. It's fine. But if this is going to continue to work, you're going to have to work with it.
Well, now that you know, what do you think?
To be honest with you, I'm glad you said it. But I'm glad you said it for you. So can we build from there?
You do not. You keep that with you. And that is it. Reputation is everything for me. And while I am tied to that man by fate, I do not want my reputation to be that of that man's bastard child and have my gains be somehow tied to his. So, he's never any father for me, and I don't want people to have that assumption ever.
I come around around to because I'm kind of like the way I'm visualizing it is it's like in the kitchen and like there's like the kitchen island separating us. I slowly walk around, putting a glass. You have my word, and I clink.
With that, do we? I will be forthright, and when the time comes, will you help me?
Yes. But no more fucking lies. Or it's over.
All right. We have an accord, then. Well, suppose the air is cleared, and I must go. This was more than I was expecting from it. And the smoke appeared to be not working as much as I would like it to.
Just give a nod, and I reach out a hand.
She'll shake you. Be seeing you then soon.
Travel home safe.
Always do. This is a nice house.
You have to come over another time where there wasn't any sort of issue. We'll do a redo. A sequel. Non-poisonous pie.
If there's time.
Always. Always.
All right, cool.
With that, when the camera would fade out, I would imagine as Miss Corbin walks herself out of the house and the door kind of pushes to quietly behind her. On the other side of the door, who knows what she's thinking or feeling at this point? That will remain to be seen. All right. So Miss Corbin, this was your downtime.
Yep.
What do you want? Do you want something mechanically out of that, or do you want to do something else? Was this
That
just
was
a scene?
that was indulge vice.
Okay, yep, that works. Clear the air. I think that absolutely indulges your vice. All right, so let's roll it up and see. Your stress was at 8 before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see how much you're able to reduce that by.
Do I get extra one that eyes was there?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, there we go. That is not great.
Yeah, y'all are
Nice
rolling like
tonight, huh?
shit tonight.
This is garbage.
y'all,
Hot garbage.
We rolled out of all our rolls. We rolled a 1 5 and 1 6, and they were in the same damn roll. We rolled like shit. It's a good thing this isn't a score. All right, let's get all these out so the next week you can have quadruple 106.
This is
Holy
about
cow.
what
I
the
am
score
gonna-
look like last week, though.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend a as just so we don't have to. I'm gonna just spend another thing to like a coin to do it again. Do another one.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
So take the 2 off,
Yeah.
and then you spend a coin. You get a third. So you can go ahead and basically roll again for an extra set.
There.
which
What
is
the
6.
hell?
All right,
Okay. There you go. All right. That's actually okay. I paid coin. Good.
So pay your coin, and you're at 0
So she
stress at
went.
this point.
Yeah. I think she just went home and just like
Imbibe some
took out the
same
stronger stuff and
yeah.
just yeah.
I think the 2 was on the walk home, getting it clear through her head, mapping everything out, and then the 6 was absolutely getting home and taking care of indulging another type of vice. Okay.
Yeah. She was also a little mad that she had to like. I don't know. She had to kind of like take the mask off a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, you tell me if I'm wrong. I see Miss Corbin as a person who plans everything meticulously, and the fact that conversation even happened without maybe her realizing that it was going to happen or having a clue that it was going to happen was off-putting. Was almost probably as off-putting to me as maybe is trying to explain the lie and why and all that kind of stuff because she has everything out. But I think we're probably starting to see some cracks in the stress and just the constant fights with her father, Dinar Farnsworth, and how that's going.
Yeah,
Okay.
she has maybe spread spread herself pretty thin.
Pretty thin at this point. I agree. I think it shows. All right. Who has not had a second downtime? Is that Eyes that hasn't had a second downtime yet?
Oh my god, I feel like I did.
You healed.
That's right, you did it.
Yeah, I think you only have had one. You healed.
Yeah. Well, mine's pretty easy.
Okay.
I'm working on my clock.
Okay. And this was the long-term project to find who's behind. What was?
Yeah, who's visiting my boy?
Okay. So let's roll this mechanically so we can add it up, and then we'll play into the scene. I believe
Sure.
is Miss Fritter going to end up being in this eventually? Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and let's roll roll the die, see what you get, do that mechanically, and then we'll start the scene. And the scene will be where Eyes is meeting with Ezekiah. Ezekiah is outside Eyes' home one morning, and Eyes comes out to basically check to see how things are going, what's going on, that kind of stuff.
So, because that's interesting. Because Miss Fritter, you told Eyes about Ezekiah.
Yeah,
Because-
she would have told you about him
Okay.
lurking
Yeah,
around.
because-
Yeah, but it would have just
Yeah.
been you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I this boy showing up at my house.
It's like you.
yeah, right, exactly. That's what I was
Found
thinking.
you now.
Well, I
yeah.
don't object to that. I would have told you though.
Let's
Okay,
don't go
cool.
shooting anybody at this point. All right, so
Yeah, that was on my mind.
what would you like to roll in order to push this clock forward?
That is a really good question. I think consort makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, consort with connections from your heritage, background, friends, or rivals, which is essentially Miss Fritter.
Yep.
And my new best friend Ezekiah, apparently.
Yep. Okay. So go ahead and make your roll, and then we'll we'll play into the scene.
Okay, so then that's an extra die because Fritter's helping me.
Yes. Yeah. Anytime an NPC or
There we
PC.
go! Woken up! We have woken up! Let's
There
go!
we go.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
So here's this works out splendiferously. You gotta love when the dice actually run in your favor. So how do we start the scene? What is Eyes doing as you come out? Maybe holding your morning coffee, or what are you doing in the morning? What has become the routine to check with Ezekiah in the morning?
So I initially head upstairs to where my turret is still waiting, and I look around, and eventually I imagine he will walk up, and then I'll head downstairs. I'm in a jungle green and yellow bathrobe because it's early morning. And I kind of head downstairs. Good morning.
And is this to Ezekiah?
Indeed.
As you come outside, usually I would say he takes up different places around. You notice that he has 4 or 5 different spots. I think this is something you and sorry. Hold on. Let me chat.
Okay.
I said to the wrong person. Sorry, Lynn. That was not supposed to go to you. That's my bad. My bad.
This is the Zoom chat function. Messes me up
Yeah,
every
sorry. They get me all chat. They get me all riled up with these behind the scenes things they're all planning to do, and I want to be involved. And my little brain can't handle running it in the game and everything at the same time. And I end up saying, "Never mind, don't worry about it." Okay. At least it's not like work today when on a unmuted mic I basically said how my dog likes to go outside and eat poop. Professional. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So you and Miss Fritter have worked out different spots that he can always see the window in, and again, this is the first morning you've probably woken up. There's a bit of heavy snow on the ground. It is a few inches deep at this point in time. So you're out in your slippers or your house shoes that you put on, and you were not prepared for this. But you go to look at the chair where he's basically been sitting, and Ezekiah is not there. You see that there are marks of feet print marks around and around and around this chair, but he is not there. And I think you look around and are trying to figure out what's going on, and he comes running up to you he walks around the corner. Doesn't come running. He comes walking around the corner almost from opposite.
I was about to say, because
he doesn't come running. He walks around the corner, and I don't think he even notices you at first. He's looking down at something in his hand, and he's just
wearing a green and gold bathrobe. How does he not notice him? It is dark. It isn't that damn dark.
You see
perfectly camouflaged in the white snow, Hannah. What are you talking about?
He in the gray. Yeah,
he is so dumb.
So he comes walking around the corner and has something in his hand and almost bumps into you, Eyes, and it's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, you're here. You're here. Okay.
I literally almost just slit your throat. You know that? Like, literally, it's right here in my hand. Like, I had like a giant hunting knife.
Yeah. I think he has his hands on something, and he takes it and goes, "Shit! She's gonna kill me for that. She told me to watch your hand right there, because sometimes you have that knife." Oh, failed again. Okay. What are you doing out here?
What are you talking about? What am I doing out here? Oh my god. Okay.
Is this a good time for me to walk up?
Yeah. I think at this point in time, I think you come around the corner.
Yeah. Dad lecture number 2. Here we go.
Yeah. So as Miss Fritter, you hear from around the corner, Eyes is like using dad voice, lecturing about responsibility and what the hell were you thinking, and it's just the same thing. But no matter what, trust me, and my girls can come in and give it to you. So you come around the corner and he looks at you, and he freezes. Ezekiah freezes as he looks at you, and basically, Eyes, whatever you're saying to him, he's kind of glazed over and just staring at Miss Fritter as you come walking up.
I almost just killed him. Like, just like a split.
I mean, I don't blame you, but what's wrong with your face?
He looks down in his hand, and there is a letter that has on the outside written on it pie. And he, in very shaky, his hands are shaking as he says, they said to give this to you. And he like slowly holds his hands out, and like even as you grab it, it's hard for him to let go of it.
We're in the street.
You're in the middle of the street. There's starting to be people around. Yeah. Okay. So you push him back into the alley, probably the alleyway in which he came. And Eyes, I'm assuming you've kind of walk in there a little deeper, or no? Okay.
Yeah. Bunny slippers and all.
He says,
tell him about his kid. Tell him whatever you've seen about his kid. And she like frantically opens the envelope. But
he
just
says,
getting them to talk.
He said that's the thing. I didn't see anything. I I watch the window. I get up. I do my rounds. I watch from somewhere else. I know where to look. I know where they could be coming from. I know what's going on. I see the people. I make notes. And he actually has like this parchment. He's made notes of times and dates. He said it's always the same people. It's always the same thing.
Mhm.
And yet it wasn't this time. And
Did someone just give this to you? Like while you were out here?
yeah, they did. They said, give this to her. And that we couldn't protect the boy.
Hmm. What did this person look like?
He kind of, his eye, like he starts to stare at the wall in that far away look that you get. Maybe like the first time you've encountered a spirit, the first time you encountered something that you can't explain, but you're going to try to explain. But even as you say the words, you know that it's not going to sound like it's right. And he says, I didn't see them. I saw those. And he points up to the roof line where Joseph's window is. And in the snow are two eyes where something has gone up on the roof and made the pictures of eyes. And he says, Ezekiah says, I didn't see them at first. I couldn't tell what was going on. And so I got up out of my chair and I came walking forward. I swear to you. And he kind of, I think he looks over at you, Miss Fritter, and he's almost like crying. He's like, I swear to you, I did exactly what you're saying. I could not have missed this person. I could not have missed them. I was staring at them at that window the whole time. But just as suddenly, they were behind me. And I couldn't move. They put the letter in my hand, and I've literally been walking around for hours with the letter in my hand, just waiting till you got here. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't go inside and say anything to you. I couldn't leave. I had to deliver that letter.
What does it say?
Fritter does not show you the letter, but she crumples it up and puts it in her pocket. But she draws a knife and shoves it against his throat and pushes him against the wall.
Oh.
I told you if something happened to come to me immediately. There's no reason for you to have been wandering on the street for hours, waiting for me. You know where I've been.
And he, again, this is as scared as you've ever seen him. He says, I know. And I would get up from the chair. I would walk around the chair. I would make the steps to go to you. And my brain would tell me to walk around the chair again and to wait. And I did that again and again and again.
How many were there?
I only heard one voice. Sounded like someone up above me a little bit. I don't know if they were on something. He closes his eyes. He's like, their voice carried above me just a little bit. Maybe they were taller than me, behind me. I only heard one voice. No footprints. No snow. Nothing
Liam.
was there.
What are you doing?
I was trying to.
What did he say exactly?
I could hear it through my headphones. It was so loud.
I'm sorry.
Give this
Sorry,
to
I
her.
didn't know what you were into.
You can't protect the boy.
Fritter will let him go. Take a step back in the alley.
I think he
Okay.
literally falls to his knees and is crying.
She looks around and you're late for school. You need to go. You have classes or something. You should leave.
He does the wipes his face on his sleeve. He probably even grabs some snow and like rubs it in his face to keep him awake. And he
You want some coffee, man?
Yeah, why don't you take him inside and get him some coffee?
Yeah, come on.
I think he,
It wasn't a request.
as he gets up, he comes with you, but his hands are still stuck, like in that holding position, like with that where that letter was. And you see him he's just kind of looking at his hands, almost trying to will them to relax, and it just doesn't look like it's happening. He just says the eyes. I saw the eyes.
All right. I believe you.
So he'll follow you in.
Freddy, you coming with?
No, Fritter's gone. As soon as you turn towards the house, she's gone.
Motherfucker. Like I can say that out loud.
The only change from the letter. Do you want to say as a player what's in the letter?
We read it off last week.
Right.
So
Okay. I wanted to make sure that
exchange.
you were cool with that. That it was the poem from last week. The only change to that is the letter M at the bottom of it.
So it's a second letter?
No, it's the first letter. He just signed it this time. Oh, no, wait. Hold the phone. Yes, it is the only true letter that has actually occurred. So it's the first letter, the only letter.
Timing.
Yeah. It's the only letter. The other one was
Was
something
more of
else.
like
Yeah.
a willful consciousness.
Okay. So I'll take him upstairs.
Okay.
Make some coffee for him. I'm gonna put a bit of whiskey in it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell him.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. That's coffee over happening.
I think. Do you want to talk to him, or you just want to kind of sit him down and relax?
Man, that's a tough call.
I mean, what? So I think what from his angle, when he sits down and drinks the coffee, he's going to kind of. You almost see him falling asleep there because he's finally relaxed a little bit. But before that, what questions do you want answered? Play it like that. That way you don't have to actually have the conversation, go through all
Gotcha.
that. What do you what?
I think I begin to, and then like I just let it go.
I think you look at him as a scared kid.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to be grown up. He wanted to be a big person, whatever. And
No doubt.
but the dad instinct kicks in, and you bring him in, and he's a scared kid. And in this moment, he looks like a scared kid.
Yeah. I don't. I kind of go to begin like the 20 questions. You want to just chill here for the morning? It'll be our little secret. Consider it a preemptive thank you. And I just leave the room and I go into Joseph's room and I go look at the window.
Yeah. So from he kind of sits there for a minute. By the time you get back to him, he's kind of nodded off and is laying there with his head back against. And I think Joseph has even like brought a blanket out and kind of covered him up. And while Joseph is doing that, you go up to Joseph's window and probably look out, and what you see the frosted glass. Again, we're talking cheap glass, so it's almost frosted over. But there are two eyes etched in the glass that catch off the moonlight and off the eyes that are lined up on the roof. And you kind of, the camera would show from the outside your glowing eyes glowing through what's been cleared off of that window.
Can't protect him, huh? Okay. Many people have said that. Let's go.
Okay. I just muted myself for some reason. That's probably not going to be good if I plan on talking. So let's go to Preacher. Preacher, the snow has fallen. It's been a few days since kind of the last mission is handled. Sometime in the last couple weeks, school has started back up for Ezekiah. He has moved back. I think the two of you talked. Maybe you tell me how this went. But was it his idea or was it your idea that he move into the college, back into like the apartments or whatever?
I think it'd be his, because I feel like if he was around me all the time, I'd be watching him all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he kind of talks about his school. The days pass. He's talking about his school. You're noticing a change in him though. You're noticing that he's tired, that he's listless, that something is definitely going on, and I think maybe the part of you that doesn't want to pry into it, because when you try to pry into it, you get the you're just a parent or you don't know what I'm going through kind of deal. Is that school start back up? So I think it's kind of a conversation he brings up. Is, hey, I think I want to get an apartment. I've got. You have noticed that he has bought some new clothes, has paid for some meals, and bought some food and bought some stuff that he unsure where all the money came from. It's not a rich amount. He's not being extravagant by any means, but there are things that he is having that you didn't purchase for him, that you are unexplained. And when you ask, he says he's picked up a side job at school, working in one of the labs or something. So he's been up late working and doing some stuff like that. So where do we find you?
I think you'd find Preacher in his dorm room, sitting on his bed, waiting for him.
Is this the same morning that all this has happened?
I think that would be a good idea, yeah.
I do. I agree. So as you look around the dorm room, Preacher, the apartment, whatever it is, the dorm, you notice that there's a bare minimum of stuff here. There's a bare minimum. There are a few sets of clothes, but you're also starting to see what I think it. Tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe it flashes back in Preacher's head to when you were first in the game, so to speak. There are locks. There are maybe a weapon or two. There are things that would indicate not everything is on the up and up with what he's trying to do, but it's all very rudimentary. It's none of it has been on for very long. And there's some books and things like that. But it's for someone who knows how the game is played, you can definitely pick up signs of what it is. And feel free to add anything in there you want. Okay. I think you wait a good amount of time, maybe even till lunch. And as you kind of stretch to get up to leave, like, okay, time to leave, the door opens up and he kind of stumbles in. So are you where he could see you from the front door, or are you kind of in the back? I'm picturing this like basically efficiency apartments. You can be in there anything you want.
I'm already in the apartment as it is. Maybe I'll just sort of move to the doorway and lean against the door jamb. Mm-hmm. And just sort of like stand there as he walks in and Wait till he notices me.
I don't think he notices you at first. He takes off his coat. He takes off his boots. You hear a heavy sigh. I think you hear keys and some change, and then the clump of something heavier hit a table, a side table, as he unloads his pockets and everything he has. And then he goes to turn on a light and notices you standing there, and does the jump and yell. And I won't do that here. But the expletive, and I think he reaches over onto the table as if he's going to grab for something, and then notices it's you. And what are you doing here?
No, please. Go ahead and pick it up.
He stands up straight and turns his back on to the table as if he's trying to cover up whatever he's going to pick up. And he says, "What are you talking about?"
Pick up the weapon.
Why?
I'm an intruder in your home. You need to protect your home, right?
Do we not argue enough at your home that now you have to come to mine?
You know, people who talk and work behind my back are behind me for a reason. What is your reason, son?
Am I behind your back? Am I one of your people?
Well, them shoes have a lot of wear on them for no older than they should be. Mighty heavy instrument you just lay down on the table there. You have a fine assortment of knives in your bedroom there. I talked to all your lab professors. They haven't seen you around.
I've been busy.
Oh, I know you've been busy.
Okay.
Do you know what kind of life you're looking at right now?
He looks down as if he's just had the scare of his life and says, "I do now."
Because right now, all I'm seeing is a child. A child in a wicked, wicked world. I'm not here to berate you. I'm not here to call what you're doing wrong. But please, pick up that item on the table and show me what you were going to do.
He stares at you for a minute. Breathes a heavy sigh. Says no. I ask you to be a part of your group. I ask you to take me in and show me, and you refused. And now you want to?
I didn't say that, did I?
No, what are you saying?
That weapon on the table, you have to understand that if you pull the trigger on it, you need to pull it for the right fucking reasons. Okay? They gotta be honorable reasons.
Same as a knife, right? If you pull a knife on someone, it should be for reasons.
Well, you just don't act like some fucking civilian that doesn't understand how wicked this world truly is.
Oh no, I know. Or I'm beginning to know. You wouldn't show me, but others have.
I think you misplace my reasoning. I don't show you because I do love you. It ain't about protecting you. Ain't about some debt I owe your mother. Son, I fucking love you. I don't want you in this life.
He walks in and sits down, still keeping a distance from you, and says, and you can want all those things, and those are all fine things from your point of view. From my point of view, I wanted to be around you, and that's how I wanted to show my love. And you said no.
All right then. I suppose we've come to an impasse then, haven't we?
Yes, my desire to join the Ash Syndicate has withered.
I will walk up to the table and I will take out one of my own guns. And I will hold it by the barrel so that the handle is towards him. Go on.
He grabs the weapon as if he has had recent experience, not long term. You know, you can definitely tell when someone does muscle memory, but he knows the proper way to handle the weapon. Immediately taking it, pointing it away from you, making this hand, make sure that everything's safe with it, and points it in and holds it down by his side. Actually, he then turns and lays it on the table next to another gun that you may for a brief second think that you have seen before in the possession of someone else up until recently.
I'll just let my eyes linger over it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have a lot to question about who my family is, don't I?
Don't look at me. You told me who your family was. And yes, I would question them.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder if he'll let me.
He'll let you.
I don't know exactly who's teaching you. I don't know exactly what family or faction you're leaning towards. But once I walk out this door, you and I are going to be enemies. And I'm
That's your choice.
I'm not even looking at him when I say this, like
Yeah.
I'm looking past him at the door.
And he's looking down at the gun in his hand. And he says, that's a choice you make then.
That's a choice that we've both made.
He kind of laughs. You made my choice for me. Remember?
Only kids put the blame on another person. If you're going to take this, if you're going to own it and be an adult about it, you can't sit there and point fingers at this person or that person and say this person held me down. Do you understand? This is your fucking choice, and you're going to own this fucking choice. And after I walk out this door, anything that comes at you is going to be your fucking choice. And I'm just going to squeeze his shoulder hard with a shaking hand. I love you. but goodbye. And I'm going to move past.
Okay. Anything else from that scene? Okay.
That's it.
Before we end tonight, any other scenes that need to happen? All right. So we're going to go ahead and close it out tonight. We will, at the beginning, I'm going to off mic, off stream, tell our players what our score will be for next time. We ran right up until time, and I don't want to take a lot more time on this. And quite honestly, I don't want to push in any more role play than what we've already had tonight. It has been fucking amazing. So we're going to call this for the night on our second downtime, episode 4 of Embers in the Ash. And I am Nathan. I use he, him pronouns. I've been your narrator. We're going to go around and say who we are again and say thank you again for joining us, for hanging out. Next week, we will jump right into the score and we'll see where this goes from here, because every week it is a mystery on what's going to happen to me as well as our players. But we are rapidly heading to some drama like never before. So again, I'm Nathan. I've been your narrator tonight. Thank you for joining us and hanging out. But even more, thank you to this amazing cast who just RP'd the shit out of everything. So let's go in the backwards rotation of when we started with. Was that Hannah that we ended it with last time? So now we'll start with you this time. Thank you.
I'm Hannah. You can find me on Twitter as Dog Little Woman, and that's about it.
Thank you. And so we'll go backwards from that. Go to Josh.
Oh, caught me unprepared there. Hi, I'm Saevrick. Been your player and your best friend this evening. You can find me here, of course, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for this amazing Blades in the Dark game. Otherwise, you can find me Saturdays here at the same channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our D20 Star Wars campaign set in the KOTOR universe, which Hannah is in, and for once didn't have to sit there and say that she's going to repeat herself. So.
All right. Awesome.
Sorry, that scene got a little emotional for me. So
no, you're
so kind of like right
you're
now.
fine. That's why I didn't want to push into anything else. For those of y'all who saw on camera, part of our safety tools did the thumbs up, thumbs down. So if a scene gets pretty emotional, as a couple of them did tonight, we always can kind of call for one and do thumbs up, thumbs down, and make sure everything's still going okay. If I'm in the scene, it's hard for me to call for one, but just remember that you all can call for them as well. So if you want to make sure everybody's okay, thumbs up, thumbs down. If anyone gives thumbs down or thumbs sideways, we automatically stop the scene. We move on to the next thing. So you may have seen that tonight. We use that at least once tonight. We'll probably use that as these scenes continue to be very close and near and dear to our hearts. We are showing you sides of us as people through the characters, and the characters themselves are hitting very close to some very some tender subjects. So you may see us use those things. You may see us stop a scene if it gets too close to all actuality. But quite honestly, it is amazing as far as being able to just sit and watch these players play and watch them do what they do amazingly well and bring these characters to life. But as part of that, we also had to make sure we've taken care of everyone's health and well-being. That's absolutely number one. So thank you all for as a kind of a stream for watching us and making sure we're okay and kind of doing that same thing. But if you see us doing that, we're just checking in with each other to make sure we're okay. So let's backwards from there was Lynn. I believe you were next.
Yeah. Oh God, this is so good. I love everyone's stuff. I love downtimes. They're so fun. But yeah, you can Lynn share Flying Cirrus on Twitter, and that's where I post my art. And I actually have a tweet where I have all the games I'm playing, including like new one is that just premiered this week on Kobold Press is Order Up. It's a D&D. We're running a restaurant, and we're just trying to keep this little like upscale restaurant afloat, and I'm playing a vampire server, so it's good to have someone that doesn't know what food tastes like to recommend dishes.
That's what I look for in my waiters or waitresses. Absolutely, my
Right.
staff. All right. What else? Anything?
Just that. Just that.
All
for
right.
now.
Awesome. And Jacob?
Hey everybody, Jacob here. Holy fucking shit, that was amazing. Man, what a crazy, nope, what amazing group we have. Anyway, you could always find me over on Twitter and Instagram. I started like a little link tree thingy with all the games and stuff that I'm in, just to make it super easy. But especially this coming Monday, I'll be back over on So Many Games' channel, playing in the Agency, which is our Quest RPG game, which is absolutely amazing. And so check that out. And maybe the best episode of Duval and Dragons happened last Sunday, so go check that out. I'm really proud of that game. And we actually have some, like a fan artist now, which is like mind blowing. Anyway, enough about that. Much love.
All right. Thank you very much. Saevrick, you want to show us out? Anything else you want to say?
Not that I know of. Gosh, such a good game. Yeah, I don't have anything else. You all have anything else you'd like to say before we dip out for this evening? No. Okay.
As always, in case you forgot, Black Lives Matter and trans rights are human rights.
Love is love.
And fuck Rush Limbaugh.
And fuck Rush Limbaugh. Well said.
So true. Okay, well, I guess with that lovely closing statement, we will bid you all a good night, and we will catch you next time. Have a good one.